Now we will do a video on your workshop advanced training. Now before watching this video, I'm assuming that you have already watched the workshop basic training. Now what I mean by the basic training is if you go to help, clicking contents, that will take you to our True ERP wiki page, and this is your basic training here. I'm assuming that you've already gone through all of these questions, have taken your notes, and understand how to do the basic training. Okay? If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and stop this video and please watch the workshop basic training. If you've already watched it, let's go ahead and move on. Now, within your workshop, if you go all the way down here, scroll down, click on workshop, you'll find these modules here. We'll be covering a little bit more in detail as to what you can do within some of these functionalities. Okay, so first thing, let's go ahead and pop into your repair express list. Now, we were working on this particular repair earlier, and there's a few things that we just need to remember whenever you're in this little module here. Whenever you want to drill down, you still have your drill down capabilities, okay? For instance, if we click on appointments, if we were to double click on this, it's going to ask us, do you want to open the repair record for the appointment? And yes, we do. And there we go, it brings us to the regular appointment. That works the same thing if we had any bills or any invoices. In this case, we do. So again, we want to know what this invoice is made up of. Double click, it's going to ask us, do we want to open that invoice, number 319, and we want to say yes. Again, it brings us right back to that invoice. So again, you never lose any data or any history when it comes to repairs, even with your customers in this repair. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. A few things to look at is that if you were in your smart order, just like what we did earlier, we created a smart order. Now, if we double clicked here in this section here, you just have to remember that there's two separate sections, okay? This section will actually open the smart order itself. So let's click yes. And this is actually the smart order that we created earlier when we were doing the basic training for your workshop, okay? In that case, oops, let me go back in there. If we go back to the smart orders and I click here, this will actually open the purchase order in itself, okay? Actually, here we go. This will actually open the purchase order in itself. So we click yes, and there we go. We now have your purchase order, okay? So again, just be aware of the two sections and where you're clicking. If you click here, you open the smart order. If you click here, it saves the PO number. Just double click there, and it's going to open the purchase order for you, okay? Now another reminder that I'd like to always remind everyone is that once you're in your purchase order, let's go ahead and open this up, you need to customize your grid so that once you're looking at your purchase order, you actually see all the information, okay? Now what I mean by customize the grid, you want the equipment and the repair ID to show. How to customize your grid, same thing. You want to right click, scroll down until you see customize grid, click that, and make sure that you have the checkbox under equipment as well as repair ID. Okay, you want to make sure that these two boxes are checked so that you have the most detailed information. Okay, now again, that goes for the same thing when you're doing your smart orders. If you double click in here, we'll go ahead and click yes. Again, right click, customize your grid, scroll down, and just again make sure that your equipment as well as your, there it is, as well as your repair number are both checked, okay? You just want to make sure that you have all that information so it's easier to find, easier to keep everything all together. Now again, if this information is really important to you, you can scroll this all the way in the front, just like so. There you go, so it's easy accessible. Alright. A few other things I'd like to show you is if we go ahead and cancel this out and go back into that repair. If we were looking at one of our invoices, so say pop open this invoice here and click yes, there's an equipment section right here. Okay, so in this section, if you were to click this equipment, again you would find all the information that we had on that repair. So again, just remember that lots of information available at any page that you're in within TrueERP. So again, that is what this equipment is referring to. This equipment button here is referring to your original repair information and what equipment we actually used. Alright, so let's go ahead and close this out. Now if we were to go back and go to our main screen, you'll also notice that we have a status button here. Now this status button can be changed in many different ways. The first way obviously is to go ahead and choose the status that you like. So whenever you make any changes, or depending on where this repair or job is, you can change the status anywhere you'd like, just like so. Now another way is having it automatically changed for you. How to do that is just like what you see here, status, double click, go ahead and double click in the box, just like so. And now you have your status types, and then you also have your simple type actions. So here we go. So we want to click here. Now what this means is every time we create an invoice, it will automatically change the status to finish. Or if we create a smart order, it will automatically change the status to awaiting parts. Appointments, it will automatically change the status to awaiting estimate approval. Again, you can choose any one of these statuses here, just like so. So this is a really easy way of having it automatically change for you. For instance, if we added some equipment on here, no problem, we'll just go ahead and have it say we are testing, just like so. So if we added equipment, automatically the status will change to testing. So really, really simple. You can add as many as you'd like on this page as well. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. So now let's go ahead and close this out and go into our Repair Express list. As you notice, we've been working in our Repair Express list, okay? Now, I like working in this list because it's nice and simple, gives you the nice simple things, such as your repair number, customer, name, phone number, if they have any mobile numbers, what's the issue, if there was a purchase order created, if it's been converted, or if it's finished or done. You can also customize the screen by clicking on this button here and what grids you'd like to see. We also have a detailed version, so if you click this detailed version, it does populate a few other things. Now you have a summary, you also have parts that you can click on, and then it will go ahead and populate the parts that we've used, okay? We have the equipment list as well. We have the timesheet. It'll show us which one was done, okay, or pending, converted, okay? So again, really, really easy stuff here, but in this case, we're just gonna click on summary. And again, it gives us a little bit more information, as you can see here, about the customer. It also gives us a little bit more information about their bill to creation, the schedule, the status again is here, so on and so forth. Their PO number gives you their terms, if they have any terms. So again, this information is a little bit more detailed, so you wouldn't have to double click, you would just have to scroll to the side. Personally, I do like working in the Express list, so we'll go right back to that. Okay. Now if we were to go ahead and close this out and go into our equipment list, there's a couple things that just like to make sure that I point out to you. Let's just pop open our tractor that we were working on earlier. We can add a description. We have your manufacturer that you can go ahead and add on here as well. You can add pictures, extra information, maps if you need to, also related parts or any extra parts. Now what this basically means is that anytime you work on this tractor or you use this equipment tractor, this would automatically pop up as the parts or the products spare parts of the equipment that we need to use. We can add on the spare parts just by down arrow, just like so, and then once again choosing a product. And then we can go ahead and choose the amount or the quantity that we'd like to use, just like so. Okay? Same thing, you can add your attachments and any serial numbers if you'd like to do so. But in this case, let's go ahead and close this out. Now within your repair faults, in this little section here, what's great about this is, again, when you're using this repair faults, it actually forms a repair code per manufacturer. So it would have different numbers or sections or different codes per manufacturer. Let's go ahead and open up one of these repair faults. If we were to go ahead and double click on one of these, here is where you would choose a particular manufacturer, okay, what the category is. So is it a repair? Is there a defect? Symptoms, conditions, is there a section? The code behind it, and the description. So this will all help create exactly what I mentioned earlier with the repair codes, particular tracking codes that you can actually track when it comes to the different repairs that you're doing. Okay, so again, you want to fill out all this information, and let me just show you what I mean by these repair codes. If we go back to our repair express list and to one of these repairs that we have here, you want to look for this information under extra information, just like so, and here is where you'll find all that information here. So for this manufacturer, I chose LGS, or if we want to go back to John Deere, and here we'll be able to choose whether it's a condition, a symptom, a defect, or a repair. But I had under John Deere that we had a repair, and it was squeaky brakes. So again, as you notice, it automatically pops up this repair code. So it's a distinct code that it actually brings up when it comes to setting up your different repairs per item. Okay, so really nice when it comes to per manufacturer. When you need to export or give them this information, you can use their own repair code. Also, you would be able to type over this if you chose to do so, to go ahead again cater to the manufacturer needs for these particular repairs. Okay, now another nice thing here is, let's go ahead and just save this, is if we were to close this out and go into our manufacturer list, we can actually customize how we would like to see certain things when it comes to each manufacturer, or to see each label. Now, to give you an example of that, if we were to, for instance, click on John Deere or LGS, either one, here's the name of the manufacturer. If we click on Repair Export Configuration, we'll go ahead and click that. It now gives us the list of the configurations or the labels that are being used. Now, for instance, we may call them reference numbers, but John Deere does not call them reference numbers. They call them job numbers. Okay, so if we just do job numbers, if we save this, click on that, and we're going to close this out. We'll go back to our repairs list. Just use that same product that we were using earlier, that same repair. Go back to extra info, and again, I'm just going to change this just so we can go ahead and see the different information that we have here. So go back to John Deere. As you can see, it actually changed the information. So again, if I change this, it went back to reference number. If I bring it back to John Deere, it changed it to job number. Okay, so that really works, or comes in really handy when you need to export this card or export this repair by clicking on this button here, so that you can actually upload this information to the manufacturer's job card or their website or through the internet, or send it to the manufacturer so that the manufacturer knows exactly what it's looking at. Because if we're using reference number but they would like to see job number, you definitely want them to be able to reference the job number and not have to let them know that we're actually calling it a reference number. So again, you can customize every single one of these fields here to match exactly what the manufacturer wants it to look like, so that when you do export, so let's just go ahead and do a quick export here. Okay, put that onto the desktop. It automatically has the name of the repair, the number of the repair, so we'll go ahead and click save, just like so. So you'll be able to export by clicking on this export button that you see here. Okay, now another way that you can actually export jobs or repairs is by go ahead and click on details, just like so, and you would be able to click on, let's just say, equipment list, just like that, and from here you have your repair list. Here, if you had 4, 5, or 10 or 100 different items on here with the client, the name, and all these extra details, you would be able to control and select which ones you'd like to print out or export, and then once again you would go ahead and click on export details, and really simple, it would go ahead and export that right to your desktop. Okay, so really simple things when it comes to this. So again, that's the basics or not the basics, but a little bit more advanced when it comes to your TrueERP workshop. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the TrueERP support team. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a great day.